Welcome back to Face the State. I'm Ariana Bennett, back with Washoe County Registrar of Voters, Deanna Spicula. Deanna, thank you once again for your time.
Hi. Nice to be here.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is very exciting because we're looking at the brand new voter machines that everyone's going to see when they go to the polls this year. And brand new for the primary, right? We've never used them before?
Correct, yeah. This is our brand new ICX Prime is what we call it, and we call it a voting tablet because that's basically essentially what we're using here, so yeah.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a giant iPad.
Yes, yeah, I think it's a technology most people are used to with their iPhones and iPads, so hopefully everyone will feel really comfortable using them.
Okay, so when people go to the polls, we're not going to get a double erasered pencil anymore?
Nope, don't need them.
No,
no, we don't want to
pencil.
wreck the screens either. So,
okay,
yeah.
so just use your finger like you would with an iPad. Very
Yes.
cool. Okay, and I understand this is, so know this is new for Washoe County. Is it anywhere else in the state or just Washoe County?
Yeah, we have most of the counties within the state have gone to the system. Carson City's the only one who didn't. They went with a ballot marking device, so they went a little bit on their own, but the rest of the state is using this system.
Okay, so almost all of my viewers, this is what you will see, and we're going to get an idea of how it works. So people walk up to the polling place, and what happens?
Well, the first thing they'll come into contact is with our intake station. So now we have a voter kiosk, which is a poll book that they'll check in on. The intake person will get their information, have them confirm their residence address and their party, and then they'll have them sign a tablet to check in. Once that's done, they will get an activated voter card, and this is what they'll take to put into the ICX Prime voting tablet. So I'll go ahead and do that here. And then you'll select your language. And then here you'll have your ballot information screen. And so it basically has the name of the election, the ballot type that you're getting, and then the date. And then they'll click next to enter their ballot selections. So like just like our other system, this is very similar as far as the touch screen features of the candidate selection. So you'll just touch it once to select something, and then touch it again if you want to deselect it, and then make your other choice. You can also enlarge your font size. So if you wanted to see it a little bit more in a larger font, you can do that. And anytime in your session, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, so real quick, if you enlarge your font size, and this is important, some of your candidates might be below the limits of the screen,
yes,
right?
We have like our governor's race, the sheriff's race, some of those with longer contests. They may actually end up going below here, so you'll have to scroll down to your selections.
Okay, so don't panic.
Yeah,
if
don't
you
panic.
See your candidate, just scroll to the bottom. And
if you're ever in your session too, and you feel like something's not right or you need assistance, our poll workers are there to help. They are wonderful, wonderful volunteers out there, and they are willing and they are eager to help. So if you have a question, if you feel like something's not going right or you're not seeing something that you think you should, or anything, if you need assistance, just ask them. They're there to help, and they're really eager to.
Okay.
So yeah, they're great. Can't say enough praises about our poll workers. And
they don't get paid to do that either. So
our early voting workers do get paid.
Oh, they do?
A little bit,
okay.
yeah. And then volunteers on election day get a stipend.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's really not. Nobody's going to retire on it.
Right,
so it
right.
really is. They're volunteering a lot of their time.
Okay.
They're long days out there and long hours. So we really appreciate them. So when we're done, we'll get back to this. We're done with making your selections. You got a review screen. And so this is where we have navigations that you can scroll up and down if you want to look at all your choices this way. And there's a little indicator up here. If you've voted every selection on your ballot, this will be green. If not, there'll be a little triangle red with a little red exclamation point in there. And it's saying basically that there might be a selection that you didn't make. So some races, like our general improvement districts, they have choose more than one. So if you didn't choose more than one on that race, it might show up. And all you have to do is click back into that race, and it'll take you back to it.
But you don't have to, right?
You don't have to. If you don't have to vote, if you only want to vote on one race in the entire ballot, you can do so. You can select that one and just click next all the way through, or go straight to the end and review your ballot. And so once you're here, you want to print your ballot for review. So this is like our old system as well, is we're required to have this voter verified paper audit trail, which we call a VVPAT. And this is where you want to review your selections. Now these are the selections that are going to be cast. So you want to make sure that those selections are indeed the selections that you want to cast your ballot. At the end is when you'll cast your actual ballot. So the printout here is not, you haven't completed your process yet.
Okay.
So you want to go ahead, review your screen, and then you'll cast your ballot. Once you've cast your ballot, you want to wait a few seconds before you pull that voter card out. You want to make sure it goes through. we want everyone to make sure that their ballot gets completely cast. So once you get this, ballot is accepted, and it goes back to this little screen, you're done.
Okay. Very cool. What was with the QR codes?
The QR codes, it's a new, instead of having a barcode scanner now, they've gone to the QR codes. It actually scans an image as well, and it retains it on a memory in there as well. So we got an image of our ballot, so it's another way that we have another redundancy as well.
Okay. Now, what's interesting about these machines, I think a big misconception, at least one that I hear about every election, is there's no internet hookup, there's no network hookup to these machines. This is plugged in just to the power right now in our station. Yeah. And that's one way that you guys make sure that you can't tamper with it, right?
Yes, yeah, there's no connectivity, there's no Wi-Fi, we don't connect to any networks, and they are standalone. Like you said, all that's plugged in is the printer and the power cord, and that's all that's ever plugged into these.
Okay, and so tell me about all the features then, how you guys make sure that the ballots stay secure and don't get tampered with.
So when we send our machines out for early voting or election day, they are barcoded and sealed. You might not be able to see all of them, but we do have barcoded seals, and we also have tamper evidence seals over all the doors. So when we send them out, the poll workers also get a sheet with those exact same numbers on there, and they need to verify each and every one of them is still in contact and still has that same seal on it. And then once we do that, we also have on early voting, I'm sorry, it's on this door, early voting. So every night, at the end of the night, they're going to power off that machine, and this is where the results drives are over on your red. So here we are, is they're going to take those out, they're going to put them in a locked vault, and then we also put that in another locked vault. So it's a lock box, so they lock those results drive in that lock box and then in the locked vault, and that's where they stay until the next day when they come in. Again, they're going to seal up everything at the end of the night, they're going to record those numbers, and in the morning when they come in, they're going to verify those seal numbers again to make sure that the machine has not been tampered with. If it's broken, or if they think something's not matching, we tell them that you don't use it. That's done. We're done with that machine. We're going to move on to something else. We want to make sure that everything is sealed and accounted for. We don't ever want to have anything that's not accounted for out there by our poll workers or by our office. So we were very adamant about that.
All right. Well, we have just under 2 minutes left. But real quick, when you count the ballots, is it done the same way as you've done it in the past, where the cartridges go to the registrar's office, or is it working differently now with the new system?
Nope, it's the same. Yeah, they still have to. There's no connection. We do not tally anything electronically. They have to physically bring those results drives into us, and we do all our tally happens at our office. At Election Central is what we call it. So,
okay.
Yep.
And then you guys own the machines. They're not owned by any other company.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. We get that question, so
yeah,
it's important.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So we have just under a minute. Any other myths that you'd like to dispel before we go?
There's no. I mean, there's always information out there. People talking about security features, the hacking, and everything else. They really need to probably do some more research, kind of look in. We have some information on our website about that. We have so many precautions and so many safeguards to our systems, and we are monitoring constantly. We have a wonderful Washoe County Technology Services Department. They're trained in cybersecurity. We have 2 technology services people now assigned to our department alone, and they also do extraordinary work. So we are definitely acting very vigilantly to make sure that our security is in place and that we uphold all the integrity of the election.
Okay. All right. Well, Deanna, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Right.
I appreciate
thank you for having
you coming
me.
on and giving us a
Appreciate
demonstration
it.
here. It was very cool to see. All right. Well, that is it for this episode of Face the State. But for more information or to see past episodes, you can just head to our website. That's ktvn.com. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next week.